Hi, David. Okay, I'm going to show you how to fix all those accounts that are going to expire with the recurring billing. So authorize.net and then merchant login. And then our information for that. There's the username. See if it'll let me just minimize this and keep it on. And then the password, case sensitive. I'll just leave it there for a second in case you're doing this while I'm, whoops, in case you're following along. All right, so there's the login info. Hit login. Oh, hold on, did something wrong. Okay. When I typed it in, it worked fine. I don't know, it didn't like me copying and pasting it for some reason. Okay, so the first thing that we'll do is we're going to do the search. So when we click on that, I'm actually going to, I think I'll open this in a new window, be a little bit easier. Bring that over. Okay, so we're going to search, and let's start from, I want to do like the last 2 months just so that we'll know anybody who may be expired, just to take a look at it. I'm going to go back to April, let's see. Let me go back to April 10th. So it'll start searching from April 10th through today. And then I'm going to leave everything at all. It'll search all payment methods, all statuses, and so I'll do search. And it brings up a list, and you can filter down here. It shows you just 10 at a time of 187 results. If you click on View All, I find that that's easier. It just opens up a nice big lengthy list. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open the tools in a new tab. So I can go back and forth here. And under Tools, there's the recurring billing, and then search recurring billing. So it's Tools, recurring billing, search recurring billing. All right, so we'll need that in a minute. So I'm going to go back here. And then this is the time-consuming part. Each customer, so this Daryl person, so I'm going to click on just their first name, copy that. Actually, yeah, because see, this doesn't, okay, well, I tell you what, I'm going to tell you something else. When you click on the transaction ID, right up here, it's going to tell us if it already is a recurring billing in authorize.net. If it says to create it, it means it's not, and that is one we can ignore. I can explain why later, but let me show you one that we can't ignore. So let me click on another one. So it says create a subscription. Okay, we can ignore that one. Okay, Deborah Willis. Okay, create, so we can ignore that one. Okay, Ginny Abbott. This is an example of one that I fixed yesterday. Click on that. Okay, hold on a second. I may have to check on something else. Okay, I paused the recording. I'm stopping it again. I don't want to redo all of this. So I'm going to point something out again. So when you click on the transaction ID, it just says create an ARB. There's nothing under here. Some of them, though, and the first one on the list that falls in that category is Ginny Abbott. It says it's an ARB-based subscription, and that she's had completed 10 payments of like $9,000. That's because I changed it yesterday. Before yesterday, it said payment number 10 of 12. And so I needed to go in and make it indefinite. So that's why hers looks good now. So that's how we want it to look. So let me just keep going down the list. So when we get to William, see, this is one that falls in that category. He was ARB based. It was only set up to bill him 12 times, and now it has billed him 12 times. Okay, and it looks like the last date that he was billed was June 7th, and he's not scheduled to be billed again, but we need him to be billed July 7th and then on recurring and recurring because he hasn't asked us to cancel him. So I'm going to click on Create ARB Subscription, and then scroll down here, and we're going to have it be with no ending date, and we'll need it to start on July 7th because he was billed on June 7th. So I'm going to start it on July 7th with no ending date, and it already has all of his credit card information in here, so that should all work fine. It has all of his, necessary info, and then we should just be able to hit submit. Oh, an interval required. Okay. Let me see where that is. Okay, so on the subscription interval, I had to choose every month. We could do 30 days, but I'm just going to do every month. I think that's a little bit easier for them because then they know it always comes out on the 7th. Okay, let me try to submit again. All right, great. Okay, so now that is in the system. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the search results. And let's see if we look at him now. No, okay, it hasn't updated it yet. But okay, so I'm going to go down to the next person, Mary Donnelly. But I would make a note, like to do a research and look at William and be sure that it does say of 9,999. Okay, so now we are looking at the next one. Which is, let's see, who's this? Mary Donnelly. And great, this is one we're kind of catching in time. There's been 11 of 12 payments because we're right at like a year from when we set all this up. So thankfully, I noticed this now and not a month from now because that would have been harder. Okay, so let's see. Actually, what we need to do on when they already have an existing subscription, how I'm going to do it there, and I'm not sure if there's one way that's better than the other, but I'm just going to take their existing subscription. So I copied Donnelly as the last name, and now I'm going to go over to where it was Search ARBs that I showed you under Tools, Recurring Billing, and then Search ARB. I'm going to put her last name in here and do a search, and that actually brings up her specific subscription that already exists. And it shows that she's only going to be billed one more time. If we click on the subscription ID, it brings up all the info about it, and then click on Edit Subscription. And here is where all I'm going to do is make it be no end date, and then Update, and then everything is good with her. Okay, so all right, so now I just enter a new one, and it gives me back to where I can search again. Now maybe I have to go back to the search field. Yeah, this is to create one. So I'd have to do recurring billing, and then search, and then I'm ready to search for the next one. Okay, so we just did Mary Donnelly. Okay, so now we're up to Mary Rossman, but this is different. We know it's not set up to be recurring, so we could skip this one. This is one of my test accounts. I think I'll actually go in there and delete that. Okay, and then let's look at Gina Michael, see what hers is. Okay, so there is nothing here about it being an ARB in here. And that is because it's being automatically a recurring billing in one shopping cart. Gosh, I mean, it might not be a bad idea to start a list of those that fall into that category just to confirm that, but you may not need to do that right now. I apologize if this is seeming kind of chaotic. I'm Just wanted to just get this to you quickly. Okay, this one was a decline. It was just a test account that she had. That's no big deal. Okay, and then Cynthia Spalding. This will be the last one. Okay, again, transaction type is automatically recurring billing. We have one more. So I'm just going to copy her last name, go to subscription, paste in her last name. She comes up, click on the subscriber ID, and I'm going to edit the subscription and then make it have no ending date. Okay, so that is what we need to do to be sure all of these are not going to expire on us. So search, recurring billing, search in ARB, so I'm ready to search on the next one. Go back. All right. The reason I went ahead and did it 2 months back is in case there's somebody who already expired last month and they weren't billed this month. So if I just search by this month, if they weren't billed this month, they're not even going to come up on the list. So that's why I went back 2 months. But once you get to the second month, you may start to see some of the names, that you saw on the first month, and then you can just ignore them if you already took care of them. Hope all that makes sense. Give me a call if I need to explain something else. Alrighty, thanks.